I'll get back with you in a few days. Until the meantime, I need you to do this. And if anybody's listening, listeners now that has anybody that's experienced things like that, or maybe themselves, one good thing about to do is start documenting. Get you a notepad. Start writing down what happened, who witnessed it, the dates, the times, and find out and try to get a pattern. Is there a pattern of this activity? Is the same thing happening every day at this certain time? Are only certain people seeing this or hearing this? Kind of document, basically make you a log of your paranormal activity that's in your home, and try to get it, or your residence or wherever, try to get a documentation of what. That way, when you call somebody, whether it be us or somebody else, they have something to go on already. They have some findings already that, hey, this is what's happened in these dates. So it makes it a lot easier once you do get out there and start investigating.
Now, if you go out and you investigate and you actually document that some strange things going on, then what happens at that point? And it's over with, and you just put it in your logbook that, some of the stuff you found to be going on, or how do you handle it at that point?
I mean, it's totally kind of up to the homeowner. What
they're looking to get out of it, yeah.
They would just want proof that, hey, I'm not crazy. Other people are seeing this and hearing this. I just want some kind of proof that I'm not nuts. I'm not hearing things or seeing things that aren't there. Some people want cleansings. They want, to get rid of whatever's there. Kyle, our holy guy, he goes out and he's done several on his own. Far as they'll contact us and it's like, well, they just want a cleansing. Okay, well, we'll send him out there, and he's done several cleansings. Just without us going to investigate. And sometimes it may just be,
Well, and also, let's say that if someone's having issues at their home, us coming in, or Kyle blessing the home, or both, even if it wasn't something there, it could cause a placebo effect. And if that helps the family, then that's fantastic as well, and which we've had that happen before, that we didn't really pick up on anything, and, when we left, everyone felt better about the, situation. So
now,
depends what outcome they're wanting, what we can provide.
What's the most strangest thing you've ever found paranormal at a person's house?
At an individual's house?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, we've had things like, of course, we've had the EVPs and things like this, and we've had, I think, one in Carmack, the dove feather that was on the bed.
The lady's mother had passed at that house, and about 6 months after she passed, and she started having this stuff going on at the house. And she explained us about the closet door opening on its own, and basically it was her mom's old bedroom. And she came in one day and found the dove feather laying on her bed. And I forgot this whole story, but there's some significance to the dove. Yeah, the dove feather. Just out of the blue. And that's kind of different.
Nothing major stands out in my mind.
That's the same place that we got some good EVPs out of that room, and it was me, you, and Rebecca, and I think it was just us three that went out there. And we're doing the sessions and all that, and trying to, we did our stuff, and we went outside. It's a small house. We went outside, and one of the friends of the homeowner had went in and tried to do some EVP stuff, talking, and then the lady's chair was talking to her, and really couldn't get anything. And then we had the daughter and the granddaughter go in and with us in the bedroom, and she said, "Why don't you ask a few questions?" And she had said, Mom, I said, Mother, I was like, I love you and I miss you very much. And of course, we didn't hear anything at that time, so we wrapped up, and we get back home and go through our files and all that, and listen to the audio from the stuff, and we call an EVP right after she said that. And I took it to her, and I let her listen to it. I didn't tell her what, I said, hey, we picked something up. I want you to listen to it. Tell me what you think. And after she says, Mom, I miss you. I love you very much. And like 2 seconds after that, you hear a faint, I love you too. Well, when I played it to her, I just watched her reaction and see what she would, tell me. And she started tearing up. I said, what did you hear? She said, I heard, I love you too. I said, that's what we think it's being said. So things like that, as far as a residential, giving somebody comfort, and validation, like it makes it worthwhile going to these residential stuff,
Now, is that something that also helps you keep wanting to go on and dig into it more and more when you can have things like that happen?
Yeah, there's so much unanswered questions, in the paranormal world, whether it be ghosts or Sasquatch or UFOs or whatever. There's so much out there that's unexplained and still a lot of questions. There's really, for the most part, we're all trying to get the same kind of evidence depending on, which branch of paranormal stuff we're actually investigating. We're all trying to get the same answers. We may have different methods of trying to get those answers, and there's really, no set scientific, experiment that say, hey, if you do this, this is what you're going to get. You're going to find it. It's just like
it's no handbook, is it?
Yeah, it's no handbook. You can, buy all the books at Amazon or whatever. The paranormal books and all that stuff. But there's no set rules, I guess, to how you conduct something. Somebody can do an experiment that gets them credible evidence. And somebody else does the same thing. We don't get nothing. It's kind of like fishing. Doyle's always said it's like paranormal fishing. You just got to know what kind of lure to use.
Yeah, I had one guest on the show, and she wrote a book, not into what's going on at her house, but she would have things like she'd be in the living room, and she'd hear her refrigerator open and close. And not just one or two times. It's happened, I guess, quite a few times. Or the bedroom door open up from being closed, open up and then slam shut. Have you guys run into stuff like that too?
Well, when we did West Virginia State Penitentiary, that's the one. When you said that, it just jumped in my head. We did a 2-night investigation. First night was West Virginia State Penitentiary. Second night was Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Well, the first night we had got there and we set up, and this was the notorious Shadow Man had been captured, and everything on film. And we had most cameras set up. Of course, we're going to put a camera to that area. There was a cell block that went beyond that point, and then there's a cafeteria to the left-hand side of it. Well, there's only one restroom in the building. You had to walk down this long corridor, through the middle of the prison. So, every time, whether it be, your senses are heightened to begin with, when you're walking down through there by yourself. And everybody that did would hear something down through there. We had one of our members come back, and we actually saw her walking back, and she kept looking back behind her. Well, we knew, we all heard something back in there too, so we said, she's here. And then she walked up to the door of the cell block, which we didn't have anything in there. No cameras, nothing. And then you see her spin around and look back behind her again, and then spin back around in front of her, and then she took off running. And she came back out to the trailer, and she couldn't talk for 2 or 3 minutes. She was white as a sheet. What had happened, a cell door slammed in front of her. And of course, it's always right off the camera, The camera's never going to be facing it, And so immediately, we had another guy, Troy, is one of our members. He says, let me go back in. So he took a radio with him. He took the EMF meter with him and a recorder. He goes in there, and we didn't hear anything from him. Well, he came back out. He was a little rattled too, but he said, "Why didn't y'all come in there?" So, what do you mean? He says, "I was calling y'all on the radio," and heard nothing from him. But his recorder was going, so we listened back on it, and he had the same thing happen to him. That you hear the EMF meter just go wild, and then you hear the door slam, and then you hear him calling us on the radio. So, I mean, things like that. I mean, it shook her up so bad. She did not participate the next night.
She quit doing the paranormal for a little while.
Yeah.
Now, did you try to debunk how the door opened and slammed, the cell door? Did you try to figure out, could it do it on its own or anything, or did you?
Yeah, these are heavy iron doors. I mean, they're cell doors. And we didn't have it on video to see exactly how, but you could hear the force behind it, and we didn't see any way of it slamming on its own. I mean, it wasn't like it was free swing, I mean, you had to put continuous pressure on it to even move it, so.
The jail doors are pretty heavy.
Yeah, that would definitely, give me a clue that there's something it's doing it. I mean, I can't see a door slamming like that, or, again, too, like when I was talking to this other guest, I mean, if she's in the front room and nobody else is in their house except for maybe her son upstairs, and the refrigerator opens and closes, I don't know what they'd be looking for in the refrigerator, but I mean, that makes you wonder,
And it may be just something, startling somebody, just, hey, I'm letting you know that I'm here. I wanted to say there was a place where some cabinet doors open and shutting, or they would come home and the cabinet doors were all open.
Yeah, that was at Coulter, I think.
Was that Coulter? Yeah, that's right.
Well, I was talking, back about 7-8 months ago, the author who wrote the Gettysburg Ghost, he didn't believe in the ghost at all. But he bought a house originally, going back to that time frame, and he was restoring it, and strange things were going on, as he was restoring it. He put his tools away at night, in a certain area, and he's positive he put it right where he put it. Well, the next morning, him and his brother or whoever was helping him would come in there, and like one of the tools was in another room. And he said that happened a couple times, and that was getting eerie. He said it was like every single time then after that, it's like things would move in there, So I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just trying to either, play with him in his head or, just, I guess ghosts could have a sense of humor. I don't know.
We had a person a family friend, matter of fact, contact me a while back. It's been several years. And she contacted me about some stuff going on in her house and sent me a video of this light anomaly that was floating around in the air just like going crazy in the air. And it was like during the daytime, and you could see this thing, and it was going around this broom handle or something. But she had told us, well, you have anything else going on in there? Because, the video was like, it wasn't like a light that was, somebody was shining, just shining on the wall or whatever. It was like moving around objects. Because you could see it disappear and reappear, around the broom handle or whatever they was messing around with. But anyway, I talked to her a little bit about the history of the place, and she said that there was a graveyard that was really close to their house and their home location. And she used to hear stories from her grandmother that would tell her that this hill up here is haunted. There's a lot of stuff going on up here. But I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I don't want to call names on here.
I just remember that.
You'll understand why when I finish